What's up, YouTube? Thanks for coming back to another video. As a defensive back, there's a ton of different things you could be training. Footwork, agility, coverage, you name it. As a corner, there are a few specific things that you need to be working on. So this video is going to be the 6 best drills specifically for cornerbacks. We're going to improve your ball skills, press man, off man, your zone coverage, your outside in contain tackling, and a few other skills. So stay tuned, pay attention to each video because they are all going to apply directly to when you're playing on the field. So this first drill is all about squeezing the receiver towards the sideline. When he's running at you, after you open up, get physical, lean on him, and then lean as you look back for the ball. It's a technique called look and lean. The second progression of this is after he's running at you and you open up, it's gonna get a bit more competitive. So the receiver is gonna try to stack you. You're gonna be leaning on him to squeeze him towards the sideline. And then as you look up to locate the ball, he's gonna be bullying your hands, make it a tough catch. This is really gonna help you on all the vertical balls. Next up, we have a 3 drill progression to improve your press man. So I'll be super quick with this. The first one is no hands repeat releases. So the receiver is gonna give you a release a couple yards, do that 4 times, and you're gonna do it without any hands. This is to teach your feet to get in the right spot wherever he goes. If you go with your hands and not your feet, the receiver gets outside your frame, he's gonna beat you. So you always have to think eyes, feet, and then after is where the hands come into play. Second progression here is to do the same thing with hands. So when the receiver runs at you, we're still doing the repeat releases, and then we're just using the hands. If he's close in, we can go with 2 hands. If he goes a bit to the side, then just go 1 hand, and then get about 3 or 4 of them in as well. For the feet, you could go in a harder press, just wait for him, match his lateral movement, or you could start to inch back, but then just match where he goes. For drill number 2, we're gonna do full press releases. So the receiver's gonna be in front of you. It's gonna be a vertical route every time. And you can either be very aggressive with your hands, you could just go hard press, match his lateral movement. You can start inching back and then match where he goes. You could do any technique you want. And the receiver's gonna sprint for about 10 yards after. So we're just working the release, the beginning part of the rep, to get you lots of reps at that release point to improve your skills. The third drill we're gonna do is just full one-on-ones for press man. The best way to get better at a skill is by doing it a bunch of times. So as a corner, you're gonna be in lots of press man situations. Of course, in your training, you're gonna want a lot of competitive press man one-on-one reps. The biggest thing to remember for these are winning with your feet. So the progression is eyes, feet, hands. Make sure your eyes are on the receiver's hips. Your feet are getting you in the right spot. Wherever he's going, try to stay square, get your hands on. And the main goal of press is to disrupt the receiver's timing and his route. So be physical, get in position with your feet, and do your job to be aggressive to throw off the timing. Next drill is one of my favorites for corners. This is to work on your tackling. DBs everywhere need to get better at tackling. If this is something you can master, you're gonna look a lot better to scouts, coaches, everybody watching. So for this drill, it's outside in tackling. We're gonna start in a 10 by 10 yard box. You're starting on one corner, the receiver starting on the other corner. As he runs into the box, you're gonna run at him. Be very aggressive as you run at him. And then as you get close to him, work to square up. We wanna keep outside leverage the whole time. So don't cross over and let him outside you or you're losing contain. Treat it exactly like the game. So you run at him, square up. You can go this foot up, this foot back with your inside foot up going into contact. It makes it a lot easier to keep contained because if he bounces it outside, it's easy to come back this way. If you close your hips off and you're like this, he can bounce it around you and it's very hard to turn your hips. So this drill is great because it teaches you how to be aggressive downhill. It teaches you how to square up and then make that tackle from the outside in angle. If you miss one of these tackles in the game and he gets the sideline, that could be the difference between a touchdown or a stopped play. It could be the difference between a highlight for you and you ending up on somebody else's highlights and losing the game. In terms of zone coverage, this is the most useful drill you could do for being a cornerback. So we're gonna be doing cover 2. You could start out of press and go here, kind of drop back, turn to the inside. There's lots of different ways to do it based on your defensive coordinator. For us, we'll keep this simple. We're just gonna start at about 5 yards, pretend that there's a receiver, we're redirecting inside, and then after that, just sit back. The goal here is to get your ass to the sideline. So we're turning our hips inwards. In this position, we can read the quarterback, and I want you to pretend we have a low route, so there's an out, and then there's a corner route or a deeper route behind us. So we're sitting in between these routes, reading the quarterback. We're gonna shuffle off, and then either break downhill, go pick off that low route and score, or we're gonna be here, read his shoulders, he goes to throw it, we're gonna open up, get under the deeper route, jump up, high point, and steal it. Next drill is for your off-man coverage. As a corner, you get lots of comeback routes and you get lots of fade balls. So this drill is come back and go. You're gonna start pedaling. You're gonna also work this out of press or catch man if you want, but you're gonna start pedaling. Then the receiver is either gonna run a deeper comeback route or he's gonna run a go. So you have to train your eyes to stay glued to the receiver's hip through the break point. If he's still running it, then look back to locate the ball. He might do a comeback and go, so you have to have good eye discipline, or he might just go straight into the go, so you have to be ready to open up and run fast. This is to improve your eye discipline, your overall coverage, and then also working on the angles. So comeback route, we gotta undercut it, get to the quarterback. On the vertical, just like the earlier drill, we wanna fit in, look and lean, and then go up and high point the ball. The last thing you have to be doing as a corner is the basics of defensive back training. So your pedal breaks, your weaves, your crossover run, all these different types of movements. So pedal into breaks, something you're gonna be doing very often. For weaves, pretend the receiver stemming you. You gotta be able to go here and then still go into a break from there. Oftentimes, they're not just gonna be running straight up the field. And then the last type of movement to really focus on is that crossover run. You start opening up and then you go into all the different breaks. So you can do all of these, weaving both ways, opening both ways, working through the whole break tree. So 0, 45, 90, 135, 180, and you can get really creative. Or for a simplified approach to improve skill level step by step, join our defensive back training app, Lockdown Academy. The link will be in the description below. We have a variety of programs for defensive back training, so you can progress through different levels. For the bonus drill, something you don't see lots of online, but you do see a lot of in-game, is hitches or screenplays. So one receiver will go for the short pass, the other one will go to block you. This drill is getting you off that block and in position to make the tackle, which is very important. What you have to keep in mind is that the first thing you should do is run right at the guy blocking you. If you run to where your receiver is catching the ball, it gives him an easy opportunity to just block you and walk you towards the sideline. If you run at the guy who wants to block you, you're gonna freeze his feet. He's not gonna know which way you're going. And then from there, you can make your move around him. When his hands are up, that's where you get violent. So hit his hands down, rip, or you could go here and go with the arm over, also rip at the end. It's all about running at him, being very quick and decisive, and then being violent to get his arms off. The other thing, which I just said, is being very decisive. So don't run inside, then outside, then inside, because the D player behind you isn't gonna know where to fill in. If you guys both go in the same spot, then they're gonna take it the other way and go score. So be very decisive, run at the blocker, make your move, get around and be violent, and then go and make the tackle. This is very much gonna help you on the field. Hitch plays happen all the time, and it's frustrating as a defense because the offense just gets a few quick yards here, a few quick yards there. Once you start blowing those plays up, either hitting the guy really good or getting a pick off of it even, then the offense can't do anything. So if you could add this skill to your tool belt, you'll be an all-around much better defensive back. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you took each drill seriously and really pay attention to the details because they're very important to help you on the field. If you're looking for defensive back training, Lockdown Academy is the place to get it. It's our all-in-one defensive back training app. There's a variety of programs to improve your skills and resources to improve your football IQ. You're gonna get it all in one place, so check out the description below. Also, smash that like button.